Hello, I have a really exciting life update to share with you today. It's actually the reason why this video is slightly delayed. I normally share my monthly favorites and fails at the end of the month or the very beginning of the next month, but there's a very specific reason why I couldn't do that with this one that I'll be sharing later in the video. I have some really great beauty and lifestyle products to share with you and some fails that didn't work for me. I'm constantly testing products, and this is the video I do each month where I share my favorite and least favorite products that stood out to me the most, either in really good or really bad ways from the previous month, to hopefully help you make better buying decisions. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. And let's go ahead and get into my current favorite and least favorite products from January and my life update that I can't wait to share with you. It's extremely rare for me to have foundations in my monthly favorites and fails because I do regular foundation reviews in my foundation roundup videos where I show you applications and thorough wear tests, where I review foundations that I've tested over multiple days. I show you the applications, the wear tests, and all of that, so you see my full thoughts in those videos. So unless a foundation really stands out to me just repeatedly, either in a really good or a really bad way, I don't re-mention it in these videos. But today we have one of those rare occasions with Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. I have just been continuously impressed with this foundation, and it does need to be shouted out again because it is so beautiful. We have high-end quality at a drugstore price here, which I seem to remember saying about Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. This is a long-wearing foundation that applies and blends out so quickly and easily on all areas of my face, my shine-prone areas in the center of my face and my normal dry areas around the perimeter. Even with a brush, I don't get streaking, which can sometimes happen with long-wearing foundations, and it gives beautiful medium to just above medium full coverage that's extremely smoothing on pores and texture with a satin matte finish before setting. So if you're someone who doesn't like to set your foundation with powder, it's really beautiful that way. And after I set it with powder, the finish is a natural matte finish with a hint of luminosity, and it feels incredibly lightweight. And it wears beautifully as the day goes on. Now, in my humidity, I can get some shine breakthrough at around 8 hours without a primer, which is pretty incredible. But if I wear a silicone-based primer under it, I can go even longer, and it just has that luminous matte finish, which a lot of us that get shine breakthrough are looking for, because a lot of luminous foundations make us look greasy. It's beautiful and flattering across all skin types. I wear shade 125, by the way. Now, if you want to see more thorough information on this, I always test my foundations multiple days in my foundation roundups. You can see me apply this, what it looks like on me, and how it wears throughout the day. In that video, I'll have it linked up in the corner and down in my description box, and I'll also have all the products I'm sharing with you in today's video linked through the YouTube shopping icons. If they're available through there, they don't always have everything, so check my description box if you don't see something there, because everything will be linked in my description box. But this is an impressive foundation and a fantastic new release. I've been playing around with the new Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush blushes. This is Watermelon Flush and Berry Flush. So I've heard some people compare these two and say they're similar to Rare Beauty blushes. I don't agree with that. These are dewy tinted cheek serum blushes that are powered by skincare that are supposed to brighten dark spots, improve skin texture, minimize pores, hydrate, and plump while giving you a buildable, soft, sheer, natural flush of color that melts into your skin. And having worked with these in several different ways now, I can definitely say that even though it looks like you're putting down a lot of pigment initially with the doe foot, it's got this kind of liquid gel consistency that shears out. You don't really need to be afraid of going overboard with these. I don't see any way to end up with overdone clown cheeks with these like you can easily do with Rare Beauty. They have a more subdued scent to them than the original Watermelon Glow drops, but they both smell really nice. It's got that same sturdy glass packaging. Now, they say to use these as the last step of your morning morning skincare routine to dab 1 to 3 dots on your cheeks and blend out with your fingertips. I've done that and it works beautifully directly over my skin for a no makeup day, or using them sort of to underpaint if I just want to apply foundation on top of them. I've also applied them over foundation. I've applied them on the back of my hand and then blended them out with a brush. I've applied them in many different ways and they apply very easily and they wear well throughout the day too. I was a little bit skeptical of that. If you're someone who likes a sheer flush that looks very natural, I think you're really gonna like this. But if you like a bit more punch, this might not be the product for you. I've really been enjoying these though. There is no glimmer or sheen to these, even though it kind of looks like there might be from the outside of the bottle. So you don't have to worry about that at all. These are just very natural looking and they feel like nothing on my skin. Anastasia Beverly Hills launched a new foundation and setting spray recently. Now I reviewed that foundation in the same video where I reviewed the Maybelline foundation we talked about earlier. It didn't go the way I expected it to. You can catch it after this video if you're interested in seeing that review, or the Maybelline one up in the corner and down below in my description box. But I ordered both of them to test them out. I got a mini of the setting spray. This is supposed to be a non-drying 24-hour matte setting spray that blurs, hydrates, and locks in your makeup to give you a skin-like finish. It does have alcohol, so if you're looking for a non-alcohol setting spray, this is not it. And just like the foundation, the setting spray didn't work out for me either. This has a very wet finish to it that takes a long time to dry. It doesn't have a consistent, fine, cloud-like mist. And even though they say it doesn't feel drying, my skin sort of felt a bit tight. So this didn't really do it for me either. I much prefer my Charlotte Tilbury Makeup by Mario, One Size, Urban Decay. Those are the ones that are coming to mind right now, but basically this one is just not it for me. This is my surprise hit of the month. I thought there was no way this was gonna work for me, and I didn't think it was gonna be that different from, I don't know, what something else that was on the market could already do, but there's something about this that has been kind of magical. So this is the new One Size B12 base thinner. It's a mixing medium for foundations that adds a luminosity with gold and pink pearl pigments that aren't detectable. All you see is this beautiful glow, but it's also fortified with vitamins for brighter, smoother, more hydrated skin. It also has ingredients that give environmental and antioxidant protection. I feel like my skin is more hydrated when I add some of this into my foundation. So I've mixed anywhere from a half a pump to a pump into Estee Lauder Double Wear, Fenty Pro Filter, NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, to name a few, some long wearing budge proof foundations, some matte foundations, and they remain long wearing and budge proof, but it makes them a little bit easier to blend out and work with. They still wear every bit as beautifully, but it gives them this beautiful, flattering glow. And if I mix it into a matte foundation, it takes it from just matte into this beautiful luminous matte finish. It's really smooth and healthy looking, and my skin feels more hydrated in the process, yet it doesn't add more dew during the day. It doesn't make me greasy or shiny during the day. This to me is a great product across all skin types, but if you have combination or oily skin and you've been wanting that healthy, glowy look from your foundations, but everything you've used to try and get it either adds a tint or coverage or too much hydration, so you keep having to blot all day, this might be what you're looking for. I have been so surprised by it, and I keep mixing it into almost every foundation I apply. Before this video started, I applied NYX Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Stain, and I decided I was not going to touch it up throughout the whole video, so you could just see how it wears for about an hour and a half or so. I'm taking sips of water throughout, and I'm going to also show you a clip of another day where I wore this after the stain had worn down. You can see these give instant wet shine, and as they start to wear down, it leaves a stain behind. These are infused with magnesium, vitamin B12, and coconut water. And now they say they're supposed to give up to 12 hours of hydration. I do feel like once it wears down and becomes more of a faded stain, my lips do start to feel just like my lips with nothing on them. I don't really feel that hydration anymore, but this does layer over itself nicely. It doesn't gunk up or anything like that. This reminds me of some K-Beauty products that start out with a glossy finish and leave a stain behind. I'm also happy with the wear down. Sometimes when stains wear away, you can get sort of a patchy look. I don't get that with this. Keep in mind that the pigment around the perimeter of my lips is darker than on the inside, so that is why it appears darker around the perimeter. It's not because it's wearing away unevenly. There are 16 shades to choose from, and I'm pretty impressed with this. After hearing so many people with dry or mature under eyes rave about MAC Studio Radiance Concealer, I finally decided to try it, even though I was really doubtful that it would actually cover my dark circles. But since I normally use a corrector underneath my concealer, I figured, you know, let's try it. Sometimes even medium coverage concealers have surprised me when I have a corrector underneath them. But unfortunately, I seem to be one of the only people on the planet that cannot get this to work. I find that with really wet, watery, thin serum concealers, sometimes I just can't get adequate coverage from them because they remain so wet and thin, even if I let them set for a little while before blending them out, that I just can't build them up on top of themselves. When I try to do that, when I try to layer, they blend away. And that's what happened with this. It also gave me a gray cast because the texture is so thin and you can see my discoloration peeking through. And it really picked up on my dry areas too. I was really surprised about that because I have heard people say it works really well for their dry under eyes. And when I tried to apply it over my corrector, it sort of lifted my corrector underneath it and didn't apply well over it either. And when I tried to set it with powder, it soaks up the powder and looks cakey. It fades throughout the day. I just cannot get this to work. I mean, everything works different for everyone, and this was just a big fail for me. No matter what method I tried, set, unset, with corrector, without, it just did not matter. Well, I thought it was going to be easier to get the new member of our family on camera the other day than it was, but he was sleeping the entire time I was filming. He has bursts of energy and then he sleeps most of the day. This is the new member of our family, Toby. That is the life update that I wanted to share with you. It took us over a year to decide to get a new puppy after we lost Luke. Toby is 6 months old. We got him 5 days ago, so he is new to us and we are new to him. I'm running on fumes, getting basically no sleep because he wakes up at 5:30 in the morning. So it's quite an adjustment, but we are so happy. And I wanted to officially introduce him to you because he's an older puppy. He was old enough to know that we were strangers and he was going to a strange home. So it took him a couple of days to get acclimated. He was pretty shy at first, but he's starting to get rambunctious and settle in really nicely. We're just so excited. He is a Havanese, the same type of dog that Luke was, but obviously different coloring. Just kind of happened unexpectedly, and we are so happy. Yes, we are. So I wanted to introduce you to Toby. I know I don't have the type of background where he can be back there all the time, but I will try to pop him in some videos every now and then and give you some updates. I know he's anxious to get down, but I wanted you to meet the new addition to our family. I have a perfume and 2 candles here from the brand Snif. I first saw this brand in Ulta around the holidays. I like the aesthetics of their packaging. I've been a bit curious. So I think this is a relatively new launch. The first time I sprayed Me on me, it reminded me quite a bit of Baccarat Rouge 540. I don't know if that's what they were going for. I have that perfume and I'm definitely getting that vibe, especially when it dries down. This has a little bit of a peach note added to it though. I feel like I get more of the plum and peach immediately, and then the orris, sandalwood, and musks on the dry down. It's vegan, cruelty-free. I love the simple kind of retro vibe of the bottle. It's also got a nice, satisfying, sturdy magnetic closure. Now my guilty pleasure candle is still downstairs where I've been burning it. It's also vegan, cruelty-free, and non-toxic, made of soy and vegetable wax, and they use 100% pure cotton fiber wicks. So I'll put the scent description here on screen, but to me it's light and sweet, but not too sweet, light and fruity, sugary with a little bit of vanilla. You definitely smell it, but it's not too overpowering for the room, which I really like. Now, I haven't started to burn Big Flirt yet, but it's really different and unique in a good way when I smelled it in the jar. It definitely has a sweet chocolate dessert vibe. If you like gourmand candles, this would definitely be one to grab. Oh, and the guilty pleasure candle that I've been burning has been burning very evenly too, which is something that is very important to me. I've burned so many candles that burn unevenly or pool, and I haven't had that issue. I tested out a new cleanser this month and really ended up enjoying it. This is Regelica Water Lily pH Balanced Gentle Cleanser. So if you have a sensitive skin, or if sometimes you wash your face and it feels dry and tight after, this is a very gentle cleanser that uses plant-derived cleansing agents to cleanse effectively without stripping your skin of natural oils or disrupting your skin's microbiome. It has a light gel consistency that gives a very soft lather. It has a pleasant light scent to it, and my skin feels nice and soothed and calm after, but it doesn't leave any kind of film behind. It rinses away very easily. So this was a nice find that has been living in my shower, really enjoying it. Speaking of sensitivity, but in a different way, if you have a sensitive stomach, or if you need to eat gluten-free because you're celiac or gluten intolerant, or you're trying to eat less inflammatory foods, so you're trying to stay away from gluten, which a lot of us are trying to do in perimenopause and menopause, I found the best gluten-free bread I have ever eaten in my life. My husband brought it home because it was the only option they had at our local store, and I absent-mindedly pulled out a slice, made a sandwich, and immediately went to go look at the bag thinking there was no way this was gluten-free bread because it was way too soft. I thought it was regular bread. It's called carbonate. Now, I think there are 3 different gluten-free variations. They have white, seeded, and raisin. I prefer the white. I haven't had the raisin. I have had the seeded, which is also soft. I just don't really like seeds in my bread. I think in the past I had recommended Kenny Kinnick because it was pretty soft. Kenny Kinnick seems hard in comparison. This is as soft as any white bread I have ever eaten. And the stats are really good because it's designed to be carb friendly, and it has more fiber, which I'm also trying to get more of. I'm also trying to eat more protein, and I find if I eat adequate protein, my fiber intake suffers. So keeping this bread on hand means I get some added fiber. Now, I know there are some online sources for carbonate, but because I've seen some reviews say it arrives crumbly or stale or hard, which is not how this bread is, I'm going to link their site where they have a store finder. I would just advise you, if you can find it at your local store, to do that. Now, some stores keep it on the shelf, some stores keep it chilled, so you may have to hunt around, but if you can find it, try it. Let me know what you think. If you have tried it, let me know what you think in the comments. I am blown away by how soft and good this bread is, and at the nutritional information. It's good all around. I hope you enjoyed this special update edition of my monthly favorites and fails. Let me know what you think about any of these products down in the comments if you tried them. Be sure to check out my latest foundation roundup here, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it enjoyable and helpful in some way. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.